we're going to go to the beginning of the Parashat, okay? And it says, let's see here. All right. I'm going to read the commentary from the Bo real quick. It's very interesting what it says here. It says, the last three plagues, the commandment to sanctify the new moon, thus laying the basis of the Jewish calendar for the festival cycles, the laws of Passover, and the sanctification of the firstborn are about to come in quick succession. In other words, these last three plagues kind of set the standard of three rules that the Jewish people will have to keep, which is the observing of the full moon, okay, which is the darkness is coming over Egypt, the sanctification of the firstborn because of the angel of death that comes over Egypt, and the what was the other one? Oh, Passover, of course, Passover. All right, so it says, soon Pharaoh resistance will be completely destroyed, and he personally will dash through the streets seeking Moses and Aaron, urging his erstwhile slaves to leave their land of bondage as soon as possible. In other words, these last three plagues will totally break the confidence of Pharaoh, and he will give in completely, almost begging them to leave his land. The first plague, okay, that of locusts, introduces a new element. God tells Moses that he intends to make a mockery of Egypt. This is one of the purposes of the plague of locusts, is to make a mockery of Egypt, putting the rest of the hardy presumptuousness of Pharaoh and his cohorts, his mages and his wizards and his advisors, so that not only Egypt, but even the children of Egypt, of Israel, would know that I am Hashem. Okay, so very interesting. He wanted to break this notion that their God was higher than the God of the Israelites. And so with these last three plagues, they were undeniably, okay, concede that there is no higher God than the God of the Hebrews. Okay? But there's another reason. It says that you may know that I am Hashem. You ask yourself, well, wait a minute. Didn't the children of Egypt know that he was already Hashem? I mean, 7 plagues had already ravaged the land. You would think that they would know too. So why is Hashem saying here, but that you may know? Well, I look at it this way. I think it implies that even the Jews needed to know, without a doubt, that God, Hashem, was the only and exclusive God of creation. Why? Say, why would they need to know that? Well, if they're in a land where they're enslaved, okay, and they don't have time to attend to their spiritual life, you gotta expect that out of, with 2 million, 6 million Jews that were all in slavery, a lot of them lost hope. Pharaoh had banned them from showering, so they were unfortunately a smelly bunch because of what Pharaoh was doing to them. It's one of the reasons God allows the plague of lice to fall upon Egypt, because what happens when the Israelites, you can't take a shower, you're smelling, you're full of lice, okay, and boils. So measure for measure, God brought lice upon the Israelites. But you have Israelites who lost faith. Probably a lot of them just totally forgot about Hashem and his promise to remember Israel. Many of them probably adopted some of the gods of Egypt. So you have a lot of Jews who at this point, their confidence and their resolve is pretty much broken. So they too have to be made aware that Hashem is the one and only exclusive God, and therefore this plague of locusts is gonna help to also kind of wake them up. Hello, I am Hashem, Ani Hashem. Okay? And so, but that even the children of Israel would know that I am Hashem. Okay? The inclusion of the Jews in this category implies that even believing people are often imperfect in their faith. Okay? That Pharaoh had resisted the evidence of the divine origins of the plague is not surprising. In other words, it doesn't surprise anyone